I had to do that. I wanted to get us in the spirit of the season and of today. Welcome to Coffee with Kim. I'm Kim Bassett, your host, and you might want to bring a little bit of tissues with you today because this is a really, really special day. And I know I always say that, but it really is true.
Oh, you're muted. There you go.
How's it now? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
nobody's going to stop you.
All right, we're going to start this really quick here.
Today on Coffee with Kim, coming from Las Vegas, is Aynalem and Amy Frost. Aynalem, or Ayni as her friends call her, is an Ethiopian American. Having been here 20 years now, she enjoys time with her fur baby and her brother. Ayni's parents instilled in her to dream big and put God first, and as a result, she is the founder and executive director of Angels of Las Vegas, a nonprofit organization with a mission to inspire hope to those affected by all types of cancer and life-threatening illness. She is an accomplished businesswoman, visionary thinker, unshakable optimist, believes in a bright future and ability to build it together by helping others. As an active participant in the Las Vegas community and in business, she serves on many boards and has been awarded many prestigious awards. When not serving, she loves the outdoors, jazz, and travel. Also coming to us from Las Vegas is Amy Frost. Amy has an MB and MA in spiritual psychology. She is a speaker, trainer, radio and podcast host, life management coach, career coach, and author. She and her husband are active in the Las Vegas community and impact many lives. Amy is honored to facilitate the self-care and resilience support monthly sessions for Angels of Las Vegas. Amy's passion is supporting good people doing good work in their lives and at work, using cutting-edge as well as tried-and-true tools and techniques to stay calm in adversity, to be productive, successful, optimistic, and happy. Please join me in welcoming Ayni and Amy to Coffee with Kim.
Yay!
Yay! Who are those amazing people?
How are you guys doing? This is such an honor.
Excited.
We're doing wonderful. Thank you so much, Kim, for having us.
Oh, you're so welcome. This is going to be a special, special day. Do you like it like this or do you like it the other way?
Either way.
Either or is good.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll go back and forth a little bit.
Okay.
So we always start out the show, like I told you, with people, with us getting to know a little bit of who you are. So we're going to start with Amy and then we're going to end on Ayni. And I'm going to get this. There we go.
Okay, so goodness sakes, the focus. I'm a lot of things, and I do a lot of things. Like I have a master's in business. I used to build missiles for a living. That's when I worked for the federal government, and then I got a master's in spiritual psychology. But what really draws me to Angels of Las Vegas, is that when I was 19, and I was working full time, and I was going to school at night. I found out that my beloved grandmother, Emily, had cancer, and they gave her weeks to live. I was in Nebraska. She was in Ohio. And I would work all week. I would drive for 18 hours to spend a few hours with her, and I would drive back home because I didn't know how much time she had. And nobody would say the word cancer, and they didn't treat her with respect. And the family members had no idea what was going on. And everybody was so consumed with anxiety. And she ended up living for 6 months and relatively good quality of life. That was because so many of us took the time we needed to really be present for her, but we really weren't present for ourselves. And I remember at 19 saying, I don't want this to happen to any other person who has a life-threatening illness or their caregiver. And then 3 years ago, when I used to do a lot of work in that field, the City of Hope, all kind of conferences with my dear friend, well, here's my grandmother, Emily. I was the apple of her eye. I loved her so much. And my friend Dee Russell and I used to do a lot of workshops at City Hope and other places. She did creativity and healing, and I did caring for the caregiver. And she ended up getting a life-threatening illness. And after 5 years, she passed after a second transplant. And I thought, I'll never do that work again. I left California. I moved here in 2006. And I thought, I'm done with that work. I won't do that anymore. So I've done a lot of work with career and veterans and employee assistant programs. And then 3 years ago, my sister met Aynalem, and she said, you have to meet Amy, and the rest is history.
Right. Oh my goodness. Isn't it just beautiful how we get brought together? I mean, you and Amy, you and I were brought together. You brought Aynalem and I together.
Grace brought us together in the name
right?
of Grace.
All right. We're going to hear from the founder and owner herself, Aynalem. Cannot wait to get this conversation.
Thank you, Kim. You know, I started out with Angels of Las Vegas. I left them. I'm originally from Ethiopia. From Africa. I left when I was 14 years old. I went to Middle East, Israel. I was there. One time I was very, very ill, and there was 2 doctors that took me in, and they just treated me like their own family. And I became so close with their family members. So one of the doctor's daughter was really, really sick with cancer. Her name is Sandy, and we just love her so much. And she was going through a lot, and I spent a lot of time with her, and I seen her the cancer how brutally she was, like, really we wanted to survive, but she passed away. And she was so young. She was like in her 20s. And after being there for a few years, I come to America. When I come to America, I was literally homeless, and I have other people come into my life and helping me, and being an angel, helping me to get a job. And it was a lot of hard time. And finally, once I got everything, got my job, I got everything was going really well. And my friends have become my family, like my sister. So one of my god sister was coming to America. Life was beautiful. We got our green card after having so many hard time. And I find out that she had, a cancer. We went through so many hard time. We go through so many beauty supply stores to find her wig, and she lost all her hair. And I couldn't even find a private wig room for her to try on a wig, and she had to try it in front of people. And to get help was because when we go to a doctor, they can only spend like 2-3 minutes with us, of course, all you guys know. And we're from different country. We speak we're not really perfect with English, and I don't even know how to. It's a lot harder on a caregiver. And so that's when I decided to open a beauty supply store. I decided to open a beauty supply store. She lived to see my beauty supply store about 13 years ago. I called it Hollywood Hair and Beauty Supply. I had a private wig room, and cancer patient can come and try on a wig. And my grand opening day, we give out over 30 wigs for cancer patients. And every day from day one, we start giving back to the community. And she passed away, but her hard time and everything is still in me. And I wanted to open up a nonprofit, and I want to call it Angels of Las Vegas, because a lot of my friends, they're like, what are you doing in Vegas? Vegas is like a sin city, but we don't even go to the Strip, and Vegas is beautiful. There's so many angels out here. That's how the name of Angels of Las Vegas come. And we do want to be having like either breast cancer or, heart disease, or no matter what you're going through. We just wanted to be there to give you support no matter what, whether it's wig, whether it's, support group to just, sometimes you just want to sit down and talk to someone. And if we can't do it, trying to find resources. And it haven't been easy, but I'm so blessed to meet Robin, to introduce me to Amy, and we have so many amazing board members helping. And by God's support, by the community support, by my amazing board members and friends, we're still here. It's been about 11 years now.
Wow, 11 years. I thought it was maybe 13, but is that how long you've been in Vegas?
I've been in Vegas about a little over 20 years.
20 years. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
And that Angel's been doing good work her whole life. So she just
Yes.
officially became it.
yeah, I know. I caught that.
My home always been open for people. It's almost like a refugee camp. I have people staying in my home, helping them to get a green card, and just in any way I can possibly could. So giving back has always been a big part of my life. So I love doing it. I love helping people, and it's just to give me a joy. So, but we've been about 11 years since we've been 501c3.
Wow. So you have the wig, and there's a lot of pictures of that, and boy, trust me, you're going to see some video at the end. But you have the wigs, but you have so many other services that you provide. Talk about some of those as well. I mean, you have a music one, which I was a concert pianist, when I was younger, 10 years. And so that's why I'm a really big thing about practice and not giving up. But when I saw that, I was just like, it evoked so much emotion because, for me, I know that healing, music has a lot to do with healing.
Yes, it does. And it started out by giving out the wigs and going to the hospital, visiting the kids and reading book for them. And I start researching, and I'm like, what kind of other therapy that we can do? So we started with the yoga. We do yoga once a week. We do the self-care resilience with Amy. That's the second Thursday of each month. But if a person needed right away, the first we get a call, and sometimes there's times we get a phone call from cancer patients. I just want to end it. I don't even want to go through this anymore. We've been through many times with Amy, and we'll go in, we meet with them, and we have one-on-one with them. We sign them up with our online classes, and we do their makeup, their wig, and a matter of like a week, as soon as we start doing one-on-one with them, it's like they become totally different persons. Like, oh my God, and thank you, and I feel so much better. Also by putting them with another patient that going through the same thing. And so just that alone is such a huge support, beside just going to get the treatments. And when you're going through a hard time, when you have hope, you can get through anything. So one of the main things that we're doing is giving hope for the patients. And all these classes, all this one-on-one support group, and to let them know that you're going to be okay. And when you get up in the morning, when you feel like, what, I'm not going to make it, when you have that energy, you're going to attract that energy. When you get up and you have like, what, I'm going to be fine, put your makeup on, you have that, when you have that hope and that, positive energy, that's what you're going to feed your body. So that's kind of what the main thing that we do. And before you know it, they're like, oh, I'm feeling so much better. We have a care packages we give them, which is a nutrition. We partner with Juice Plus. It's fruits and vegetables in the capsule, and we have so many healthy snacks that we drop off for them in the beginning. We consult with them. This is what you need to do, and they start taking that. They have energies, and we also give them food every Wednesday. Sometimes they're too weak or too sick to go shopping, or to go grocery shopping, or to cook. So we deliver meal for them. And, so that's kind of like the main thing, that emotionally, and also for the things that they need. And if something that we cannot do, we partner with other organizations, try to find them support.
Wow. Oh, I cannot wait to be more involved, and we'll talk a little bit later on, why we got connected in the first place. But is it okay to share? You shared very precious stories about your parents. Is that something you feel comfortable doing?
Yeah, actually, I left them when I was 14 years old, like I say in the beginning, and I grew up in a country where simply surviving and from day to day is a goal. So coming to America is a dream. And my father always, I was the apple of his eyes, and he always tell me to, dream big and never give up. And I was always dream to come to America. And coming to America is difficult from Africa, but I had to go through Israel to make it, make it here. After I come here, but I have to be bold to get that, to leave my country with no family, no sibling, and it was
At
a
that
very,
age, I could not believe. I couldn't believe
yes,
when I
Can you
heard that.
imagine your kids doing that?
No.
No.
yes, and that's something I take pride, and I just always been that leader, even growing up, and he always like being, I been one of the kid that always that like he's the one that gave me that, power. I felt like I could do anything. That's why I couldn't wait to leave. And I know in my country, I couldn't, the dream that I have in me, inside of me, and I couldn't be able to do. I know that I cannot do it in my country. I had to get out of my country to do it. And I was able to, come to Israel. It wasn't easy. It was difficult, but what my mom always, taught me to put God first. Every time I said, I'm going to go to America, I'm going to do this. God is willing. I'm like, Mom, she always, no matter what I say, she's always like, pray, put God first. And my dad is always, no matter what, you always think of you're the less fortunate, helping others. And he was an attorney. And there was most of the time, there's cases that he does without even getting paid. And so he's giving back for him, and even for my mom. She opened her home for so many people. And we was one of this, as holidays come and everybody coming to eat out in our house. And so that's kind of what my family, my mom and dad is, instill in me about giving back and just, having that, dream, helping others. And once I got here, it was just one of the major thing for me is, opening businesses and giving back. When you do good things for people, just come back to you 10 times bolder. So
It does. It does.
yes.
What does your name mean?
My my father was really sick one time. He had a diabetic, and he couldn't see. They had to take him. We believe we're very religious, and they took him to the holy place to take, to do, to get treatment. Like it's almost like a holistic treatment, and he was able to see. My mother was pregnant at the time with me, and he called me Aynalem, which means eye of the world.
Wow.
Isn't that
Yeah.
beautiful?
It is. See, I didn't know
Thank
that.
you.
I
I know
asked.
she
You're
asked
just
me, what does
pulling
your
it out of
name
us,
mean?
Kim. You're just pulling it out of us.
Yes.
That's why I love doing this show, because that's how I've been my whole life. I just love meeting people, and I love the meanings of things, and I love the beauty of things. And so I'm grateful, so grateful you're here. So I want Amy to talk a little bit about how she got involved, and then also what she actually does with you. Is that okay, Aini?
Sure.
So, and something, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, Aini, but my friend Dee used to quote me all the time. And I don't remember that I said it, but she quoted me so much that I guess I did. And she said, well, like Amy always says, God willing and angels in action.
Oh, wow.
So I think so. You have the God willing part, and now you've got the angels in
I
action.
know. Wow.
So
That's
there, thank you, Dee.
amazing.
So she brought that in. Yeah, isn't that funny?
That's
So there's
amazing.
so many commonalities, and what we're
Yes.
finding, right, is we're bringing really good people together. This is what's happening. So there's a lot of parts to Angels of Las Vegas, and why I'm with them. I only work with people who are doing good work on the planet and who I adore. I don't have time to waste. We've got a lot of good work to do, and there's so many great people. It's so funny when my dear sister met Aini and connected us. And so they have a walk yearly. We've had the second one, so 2 in a row, right? So that's annual. And so last year, the very first one, and I'm always excited to be the first one out of the chute. That's what that's an Amyism right there. But, I'm always first in line. And so Ross and I signed up, and yes, my husband and I do a lot of really good work in the community. So we signed up, and we were all excited, and we're always helping everybody else. And then we got COVID. And it was like, oh no. And so what happens? They brought us a basket and they took care of us. And my husband and I were like, oh, nobody takes care of us. But it was very weird for us. But it was like, wow. So very first out of the chute, they were helping us. We became the ones they cared for. So that, that kind of sold me right there.
Wow.
And so my work on the planet is helping people to live consciously, to do good work, to be present. And so there was a real natural fit. And when I talked about how could I bring my talents to the table, I'm very passionate about taking care of caregivers. Certainly the patient's important, but if you don't take care of the caregiver, a lot of times the patient suffers. And so we came up with, and of course, when I work with volunteers, I'm like, what are your gifts and talents? What can you bring to the table? And how does it work for you with your life? So when I say, what can I do? I can, the second Thursday of each month from 6 to 7 on Zoom, I can do a self-care and resilience Zoom. So we come together, we unconditionally love you, we share tools, we share what's real for us. And we've seen people blossom and bloom. It's just really been lovely. And one of the most important parts of Angels Las Vegas to me is people get seen, they get heard, they're valued and appreciated. I am not a life-threatening illness. I am a person, and I'm here for as long as I'm here. And there is a woman that came to us, and she was ready, to leave the building. She's like, I can't take this anymore. And with Inie's love and the support that she got, she was so happy. She got a wig. She started feeling better, and she did pass. And Inie and I were in the car together coming back from California. One of our visions is to take what we're doing here and the lessons learned and help other people do it in other places, becoming
That's
global. It's
amazing.
not just Angels of Las Vegas. So we've got Riverside, California, we've got Arizona, we've got England. They're not up and running yet, but we're on it. We're making it happen. But we're driving back from this great experience in California and all these amazing people that we met. And then we got the call about Donna passing. And so and that was hard. And I know it was especially hard on Inie because she spent a lot more time with her than I did. And that's part of being a caregiver, right? And we're all caregivers, and that it's okay to have that grief. It's okay to have that support. And we take turns, right, taking care of each other. So another part, we do the yearly walks. One of the things that we instigated, we call it Friendsgiving or Angel Giving, not just in November, but on a regular basis. We bring people together to support each other and to have fun and maybe do a little fundraising. So we can, do that too.
Yeah.
Is that right? December 18th, there's the Gala of Hope. So that, so that's coming out. That'll be from 6 to 8. You go to the website.
We'll post that. We'll post that because I forgot to load that picture.
No worries. That's great. That's why you have me. And then for me, career support. I'm nationally known for the work that I do in career. And something that I've found along the way, that when people have life-threatening illnesses, that affects their career, and the people that caregive them, right, also affects their career. And if you've got parents you're taking care of, you have to make some accommodations. And most people are not talking about that in terms of career. And that's something that we can bring to the table. And last but not least, and there's a lot more than that, one of the things I'm very passionate about is bringing community leaders together. So monthly we have the Community Connect sessions, where we bring like 12 people. They're not always the same 12 people, and they talk about what they're passionate about, what brings them joy and service, and what they'd like to see in our communities, of ideal world. And we have these amazing conversations, and the most amazing things happen. And this resource for that person, and that for this person, and it's about heart to heart and really supporting each other.
Wow.
Eyeball to eyeball, heart to heart.
Yeah, you guys, you two are angels on this earth. And I was trying to talk about that when my mic cut out, but I mean, that's really, truly what we're so blessed to have on this earth is angels like you. It's just such an honor. One thing I haven't talked about on my show is that I have created another brand, and it's around, beautiful, meaningful, grateful. And it's called Restful Life, in which we have, I've been doing bracelets for 12 years, and it was my love language. And my husband came to me when I was trying to, transition from one one business to another. And he says, you need to incorporate this, because I had this vision 7 years ago of giving back to nonprofits, and to my 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, my childhood friend, she died, or she passed from triple negative breast cancer. And, that was, watching her go through that and her family. And, she was young. She was my age. Well, I'm relatively young, but, but, she was just this lovely woman with, children, younger children than mine. And I'm thinking, and then I started reaching out and starting to, ask Amy, okay, who's out there? And I just thought it was so perfect with Christmas and angels. And so we've done these. I just loaded them up in the website, and there will be some information at the end, but it says angels. It has these little angel wings, and Aini picked out those wings. I'm going to take these to her tomorrow. And then there's another little one, and these are purple angelite stones. So they're real stones. So it was just like everything that just starts coming together, and just a beautiful way. But I did these are the first ones I've done. I have other charities that I've been doing, and I'm going to go back and do those. But the profits of these goes directly to her. Now, on our other products, a portion of it goes to whether they choose, because they get to choose. They get to choose, whether it's one time, and then they get to choose, which charity. Because I always want people to, and this is usually, around mostly women. I want them to have choice and learn how to be able to make those choices. So I will be a little bit more on that later. But Aini, I know we've been rushing through this. I don't want to rush. I want you to be able to take the time that you need to really, I want us to shine this light on this beautiful thing that you're doing. What are some other, I saw children, in the pictures you sent me. I've seen adults, I've seen men and women and teenagers. What are some stories that stand out to you that maybe you feel inspired to share?
We have one little girl. She's like, I feel like she's my own kid, and I known her ever since she was 2 years old. I remember when I first started Angels of Las Vegas, so it was not easy. I had a full-time business in there, and there's so much, and so there's people come and go, and you have to have a strong board in order for you to make it. And it was about 2 years to 3 years after I started. I remember going to the hospital, and every year we give toys for the children, and we give thousands of toys. And I asked the nurse, I said, can you please give me the list of the kids in the hospital, because I want to do more than, toys. I want to give them wigs. I want to do, we already started out, but I think by reaching out to patients, that's the way I wanted to do it. So she gave me this whole list of kids. I remember meeting this girl the very first time she's always been in my mind, but we hire a website and social media person that ended up taking all our website. Our website used to be like AOLV.org, and we lost everything, pictures, connections, and everything, right? So, but we go back to the hospital the following 2 years later. But this girl's always been in my mind. And it was the hardest time at the time to continue doing the charity work. So she gave me all this list, and I'm going through the list, and I just pick one name. I call everybody. One mother told me that I have this girl. I remember praying with this little girl back in the days when she was 2. Me and her mother, the doctor told her she can only live like weeks. And I asked the mom, I said, do you want me to pray? I wanted to pray with you. She's like, I would love to. So we prayed together. I had a princess toy I gave her. That was it. But I time to time, I think about that little girl. So after I got that list, and I make a phone call, I have 30 kids in the list. And the one lady said, it's my daughter's birthday. It's her 5th or 6th birthday, she said. And we wanted to go, we had a flower, we wanted to plan, but I don't have no money to plan her birthday. And so we ended up going to her house. She gave us the address. She had this beautiful painting for us waiting, right? And we went in. One of my other board members, she met her. She's sitting down with her, and she was such a sweetheart. She was such a sweet little girl. I went back in the back, and me and the mother was talking about everything, and she goes, "I've been praying." She goes, there was we started out. I made her all the what we're gonna do for the thing. She was so happy where the birthday party was gonna be and all the stuff, right?
Oh,
And she goes, you know what? There was organization that I used to every week when I go to church, I thank God for them, and I pray one day I'll meet them, and you remind me of them, and I don't know how to find them, but you remind me of them. My daughter was only 2 years old when I met them. I said, "What is their name?" She goes, "I can't remember their name." And I pull up her daughter's picture. I show her, "Is that your daughter?" She goes, "Yes, that's my daughter." And that's awesome. That was Janazy.
oh,
I was like, wow. So she's been, we started our piano lesson because of her. We got piano got donated from one lady lost her husband. And she said,
wow.
and we would just, every week we see her mom, we see her. And no matter what we do, we just like, she become like one of my own kid. I don't have children. So I just love her so
Oh,
much, her strength. She's so talented. She dance. She, go to the hospital with us, encourage those kids, to keep going. She's still doing really well.
she's
She's,
still doing well. That's what I
she's
was going
still
to
doing
ask.
very well. She's about 13 years old now. She's still doing very well, and such a sweet, beautiful little girl. And one day we were just talking. She's like, my dream is to learn the piano. So I was like, how do I can do this? It was about 6 years, so about 9 years into our what we were doing. So I think one of the
Yeah.
experience I do is I'm such a visionary, and I'm learning everything as I go with my organization, and with everything with a team that I have, and even with the patients. So I got a phone call. This lady that called us, she's a real estate agent. She's been supporting us a lot. She goes, I had this lady want to donate to what she doesn't want to sell her piano, but she wanted to donate it for a good charity. And I told her about you guys, and she loved what you do. So we went to her house. Her husband have dementia. He forgot all his kids. The only thing he didn't forgot is his wife and the piano. The piano name is Betsy.
Wow.
And so she plays the piano. She goes, "This is Betsy. Please take care of her. Everybody wants me to sell her, but I want her to go, for a good cause." So I told her my dream is to be able to have a facility where I can have like for kids music room and art room, and so sometimes now we're doing it in Zoom and stuff, but to be able to have a bigger space where we can regularly can do that. And
Yeah.
so she donated the piano. So Betsy is actually now that's the piano we use to teach those girls in the the
Wow.
kids, the classes. And with our art classes, sometimes we drop it off in the school, in the hospital. The kids from the hospital join us over Zoom, doing the art. And so that's one of, it just the story. I think Angels of Las Vegas have become, I've been through, as the past 3 years, I went through some huge challenge in my life. I was always the one that has to be there for people. And after doing so much, I think I was up to the point, we all get to rock bottom one day, so I was through a very, very hard time. And it become like my savior. The team that I have, Amy knows. And I lost my mother last year in December from cancer. So there's time that me and Amy would sit, and she come in, we doing stuff, and I just, I went through this depression, and my team, they become my sister. When I went away last year to take care of, to be with my mom, my board members, and they like my sisters, and I don't have good relationship with my sisters. They like my family. And there was days that I don't even want to, they come in, they like, this is what we need to do. And it become like my own support also. And I was being on the other side. Sometimes when I hear people tell me, I just, don't want to do it anymore. Don't want to wake up. But being on the other side to see, I feel like God has had me go through all this to teach me, and for the lesson, and to also to be there for others, and to experience that side of, being there. We know depression is real,
Yes.
And going through hard time is, and having your own support, that support system is huge. If I didn't have them, I wouldn't be able to sitting here talking to you right now. And I'm thankful for you, Amy. I'm thankful for my board members and my sisters. They're like my sisters, my real family.
Wow.
And my good friends. and my brother and everybody, the community. And so we're hoping to, not only hoping, we're working on it. We're opening in Arizona, we're opening in California, we're also opening in Ethiopia. When I was going through this with my mom, I couldn't even find a good nutritions. My friends had to FedEx everything to me to Ethiopia to get her week. By the time we find out my mother cancer started spreading, and she was 2 weeks, she couldn't even walk. So I'm like, Mom, she wanted to come so bad. And I had to give her all this nutritions and stuff, but it was too late. And that's one thing I wanted to do, be in honor of her name, be able to open the charity back in Africa to go global to help out.
Yes. No, I totally agree. The different groups that I've talked to, I have to come a little bit back where you talked about the Vegas community. I'm telling you, everyone says, Vegas, they think of Vegas, they think of downtown, but the business community here, and I've said it multiple times on this show this past year, the Vegas community is amazing. And I'm so grateful for it.
Yes,
I could not even. Yeah.
It is. It's incredible. I just feel like, Vegas it's home for me. It is home away from home. And this is where such a beautiful people in here. And, but you go through the bad one, of course, and which is a lesson, and you have to be really careful how you pick them. But, but it's a good lesson, but there's so many amazing people. And it's good when you go through that experience too, because you learn to appreciate, you learn to build that support system and that family,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Is there anything else? Because I want people to know how to get a hold of you and how to donate. I'm going to have it ticker down here, angelsoflasvegas.com. If you go there, and click on it. When I start bringing the other things up, the video sometimes slows down. So just letting you know that.
Okay. We located, and anyone needs support. If they need any wigs, any going through any cancer, any type of illness, they can contact us. We are located in 7836 West Sahara Avenue. We are right across from Buffalo and Sahara. And our website is www.angelsoflv.org.
Oh, lv.org. Whoop, I did it wrong, huh? So you got to correct me. See, here we go. So we're going to edit that.
She's amazing. She's real time, just making it happen.
See, exactly. We just gotta fix it. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I did that. Okay.
It's all good. Everything's fixable.
Yes. Angels of
LV.org.
.org. Okay. How's that look? Let's see.
There you go. That's it.
Yay! Oh boy.
Thank you.
So
everybody come sign up for December 18th. Yes, December 18th. Our third annual Night of Hope. We started out about 3 years ago. As our it's going to be a beautiful night. We have about 5 cancer patients walking, doing fashions. They're going to get pampered with beautiful wigs. And yes, it's going to be a really nice night. All our appetizer and food is sponsored by Via Brazil Steakhouse. And we have some drinks, and it's going to be really nice celebration. We have live jazz also. And we have all the information on our website from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., December 18th.
So we're going to I'm going to put that in there too. December 18th. And it's a night of what?
Night of Hope celebration fundraiser.
Okay. So we'll make sure we get all of that, and we'll put that all loaded up in the comments section. So I want to I know we went over to everyone, and I thank you for being patient with that, but I really wanted you to get the full picture of what this great organization does. And Annie and Amy, thank you so much for coming in. And Amy, thank you for persevering, right, through the hard times so that you are still this gift and this light of hope to people.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for having us. Really appreciate even
No.
here or there.
And I'm excited to just keep donating and having this relationship go. And these angel bracelets will just keep that going on. So
And thank you
thank
so
you.
much for your support, Kim. It
Yes,
means
thank you.
everything.
Yes,
Oh,
we
thank
appreciate it.
you. All right, everyone. We are going to conclude today's Coffee with Kim, and we are going to conclude it with a little video I put together that shows even more of what this Angels of Las Vegas is.